Okay, so I just watched President Trump's secretary, and she got on the podium. Miss Caroline got on the podium today, and here are some important things that happened during the press conference. They did talk about tariffs. There was a reporter that asked several questions about um, outside tariffs and then universal tariffs, and rather they would be stacking on one another, and then also too like tariffs on like pharmaceuticals, for example, etc. She didn't seem to really know how that really went. Another thing that pointed out that I thought was very interesting is she took every opportunity to insult the previous administration. And I kind of thought that was a little classist and tacky, if you ask me. You don't have to agree with what previous administrations have done, but you can't blame everything on previous administration. There are processes that presidents have to go through, and sometimes it's not even that president's fault. It's because Congress is not passing certain things or they're not budging on certain things. Um, but Trump, with his executive orders, he seems to be getting the opinion that you could just get stuff done early. Well, news reporters also feel like some of the people that have been fired from their positions that required notice, 30 days notice or whatever, that he's liable for lawsuits. And she basically said that the Trump administration is basically, she said, bring it. They'll take it all the way up to the Supreme Court. And we all know he has his friends on the Supreme Court. So I don't really know how far this is going to go. When she talked about my state, my lovely state, California, she talked about how President Trump told them to turn on the water. Water needs to be allowed to various parts of California. She didn't go into great detail about that. I thought that was very interesting. I didn't like the fact that there were different cities that were impacted by the fires, but they focused on Karen Bass. Yes, she has her faults, just like any political person, any person, really, any human being has their faults. But I just find it really odd that she kept focusing on her name. So what I'm finding is anybody that spoke out against President Trump or had an issue with him, they're going to attack them. And if they can't fire them, they are going to, every opportunity that they have with the press, they are going to put a negative stint on that person's name. And people that don't know real information and they don't research, they're going to go by that. Okay. One thing that I thought was really interesting, and I'm all for it, granted that I hope they're fair, is they are implementing a new media position. So if you're a podcaster or you're an independent journalist, you are able to apply for credentials to the White House. So I thought that was really interesting. So if you're the average person and you meet the criteria, you can apply on their website, and she will be leading that and vetting that. So my only thing is I just hope that they make it fair, that it's not just people that are pro-Trump, that you have, a person representing for different parties and different backgrounds and things like that. But, they don't believe in DEI. So we'll see how that goes. And then for deportation, she says that President Trump basically is not playing with these other countries. They better take these people back. Even the people that, their visas are expired, you're considered a illegal immigrant. There was a reporter that called her out that President Trump had said that he was going to get the murderers, the SAers, out of the country, but they had reports that people that had no criminal record whatsoever, they were deported. So she focused on the fact that they broke the law, they are illegal, and they are going to get processed too, as long with the criminals as well. So I thought that was really interesting too, because he kind of like called her out on his stuff because you're not following through 100% with what you said. And then Trump has released like funds to like help with like inflation prices and things like that. They also blame the egg crisis on the Biden administration. I need to look into that because I don't know how true that is. But I do have to say bacon is high. She did bring up bacon. Bacon is high. Listen, okay. And then she did also mention about like the energy crisis that we're having now. I personally have been impacted from energy, so I'm really interested to see how this goes, because here living in the state of Oregon or whatever, I've been here almost 3 years. The first year and a half, my energy bill was fine. Now it's skyrocket high. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with this. So she said that the government is going to be investing and bringing more energy into the into the country. So I thought that was really good too, because I think of, okay, that's going to be more jobs for people that are in that and more opportunities. So, but going on to all of that, that's what I got out of it. Oh, and then the federal funding for these programs. She said that people that get their money individually will not be impacted, like Social Security, for example. But then there was a media personality that said, okay, well, what about these organizations like Head Start, Meals on Wheels? How are they going to get their funding? Because they get their funding through a program and then that's allotted to them. And she just was not really clear. So I'm still unclear about all of that. So I'm not really going to judge that, but I do want to talk about the symbolism that she has. The purple that she had on, the visible cross. I haven't really seen anyone in politics. I'm not going to say I haven't seen anyone, because I've definitely been getting more into politics lately as of yet, but I just thought it really sent a message with that visible medium-sized cross she had on. Also, her stance. I do want to say too, I don't really know this woman whatsoever, but I think for her first time being in this position, she did a really good job, by the way. She's really trained. She seemed like she was very knowledgeable of what's going on with President Trump. So I actually kind of enjoys her. Now, I'm pretty sure once I do research, I probably will find something that I don't agree with her. But, you know, I give kudos when I give kudos to. Do I think a lot of the stuff that he's doing is insane? Yes. Do I agree with some of this stuff, just not the way he's implementing? Yes. So I'm going to stay tuned to this. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys soon. That's the update, guys.